So when Hallie was 3 years old, her pediatrician looked at her and said, "You need to go to Akron Children's immediately." And I kind of like looked at her and I was like, okay. And she's like, "No, I mean like right now. You need to go to Akron Children's." She got directly admitted into the emergency room. Like we walked in and they knew exactly like who we were and they were waiting for us. And that night, it was June 18th of 2018, she was preliminarily diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is a blood cancer. And that, like probably around midnight, she was admitted to the oncology floor at Akron Children's, and thus began our journey with her, with her health. She went through the initial 2.5-year treatment of leukemia, which is like the basic treatment plan. She got to finally celebrate her end of treatment in September of 2020. And then we lived life as normally as we could from there out for about 2 years. At that point, the treatment that she was on was so like high dose chemo that she should not have relapsed on it. And so at that point, we decided to go the CAR T route at Cincinnati Children's. She received the CAR T treatment in March of 2023, and she is now 2 years post that and doing very well. Cancer aside, now as a parent, I had to deal with her having, visual impairment, and this was a whole new ball game for us. And I had called her vision specialist, it's her orientation and mobility specialist, and we were kind of talking about school and what that looked like. And I said, Hallie's always been a very active kid. She's always been involved in something in her life. And I remember her vision specialist was like, "Well, absolutely nothing with balls. She can't ever play a sport with balls again." And I was like, okay, so what does that leave us? And she's like, I have a lot of students that I recommend try swimming. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. We could try that.
So I met Hallie through swim lessons. She was in the stage 3 class. So the main goal for the stage 3 is to swim a full lap of freestyle. So initially she was a little hesitant to do that, but then very quickly just got it right away. She was probably one of the fastest learners I've ever met. So she took to it right away and listened very well to everything that I had to say, all the feedback that I gave. So we very quickly built from being able to swim maybe 10 yards to halfway, and then very quickly we went the whole way without stopping, and it was very, very impressive.
She fell in love, I think, with the sport when Luke and Trisha and everybody who else was involved really took into consideration what she needed to succeed. And I could see kind of this change where she just wanted to be in the water and she wanted to continue to learn. That really sparked that initial love for it becoming a sport for her.
She takes to everything extremely well, and she's always adapting and finding new ways to swim. So whether that's counting strokes, or we've tried tapping her with a pool noodle before she does a flip turn and things like that. So she's always learning, always adapting, and is fantastic to work with.
I like that I can have an opportunity to be like other kids and play a sport that I love. And I love being in the water and just like swimming overall.
When she wanted to start looking into being on the swim team and knowing kind of how expensive that is and what a commitment that is, I kind of was like, I don't really know at this point how I could afford that.
With our group, but I had been told that we had a girl that was losing her vision due to illness, and at first it was oh gosh, what are we going to do with that? Obviously with a large team, you think about those things. It could have been something that was a detriment, but it ended up being something that the kids really rallied around because she did have a lot of friends from school that were on the team, and they already knew of her situation, so that really helped in putting her in those lanes. They kind of watched out for her.
I mean, ever since she started coming in before her first practice, I mean, she has not been scared to talk to us. She's been very open. She has not really been shy at all, and she has like this whole sense of individual self, like whenever she's getting ready for swimming or whatever. So I think, you know, when she gets into the pool, once she's in the lane, you can tell like she is very confident. She really wants to do well. Especially when I watch the 50 freestyle, when she gets after it, you can tell like she's in her moment.
There's nothing that you can't do if you put your mind to it. And with the right help and the right people, and just making sure we put everybody in the water that can do it, and the enjoyment that you get out of it, the physical aspects that water takes over, that helps.